What's up YouTube, AUTOCON360 here, back again with another review, and today we'll be taking a look at the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers S.H.Figuarts White Ranger with Tommy head sculpt. So here we are, and there he is, and can I just say this is a fantastic figure, and I love it so. But it does have a few issues, a few gripes that I have with it, but nothing really too major that kills the figure for me altogether. So let's take a look at the packaging first, and then we'll get a closer look at Tommy himself. And here we have the packaging all by itself, your official Tamashi stamp of approval. 25th anniversary Power Ranger logo right there. Power Rangers across the bottom. Nice picture of the White Ranger there. White Ranger right there. Of course, Power Rangers 25th anniversary. I really like this picture here in the background. I kind of want that as a screensaver. And my only issue with it is that it overlaps itself, because there is the, or where is it? It doubles up somewhere. Just gotta remember where. Right here is where it starts to double up. Because here is the Ninja Steel Ranger, and he's also right there at the top. But whatever, not that big of a deal. Just kind of wish it didn't do that. Nice images here of the figure on the back. Bluefin, White Ranger, another, or more of that artwork from the side on the top there. White Ranger, nothing at the bottom. So let's go ahead and crack this thing open and see what it comes with. And of course, before we take a look at his accessories themselves, we're going to take a look at his instruction sheet here. So here we have everything that we get in the box. We got 2 different heads, all the hands, how to put Zaba in his sheath, the 2 different blades for Zaba, and Zaba himself. And as well here, your parts count at the bottom. So yeah. And here we have all the accessories that do come with this figure. So first, let's take a look at those head sculpts. And here we have our White Tiger head sculpt, the helmeted head. Really nice pearlescent finish on the figure itself, and of course on the hands and the helmet. It's coming a little, it's not really coming across very well on camera. Just with that light spot there is really the only way you're able to tell that it's even there. But very nice gold on it, very consistent. I do have that little bit of schmutz right there. I don't know why that little bump is there in the mouth plate. But whatever. I don't plan on keeping this head sculpt on him anyway. So it doesn't really bother me that much. What does bother me is this seam line here. And the fact that it gets wider as you go around the head. But again, it doesn't bother me all that much because I have him holding the helmet. So I don't really see it that often anyway. But yeah, let's get nice and clean. And here we have my favorite head sculpt, the Jason David Frank head sculpt. And yeah, they really nailed it on this guy. Looks just like Jason David Frank did in the series. Even got his earring right there. Yeah, it looks really good. Got his fade there on the sides. Nice long hair. Looks really good. And the pieces here that go over his shoulders are a little bit of a softer plastic. This is definitely much stiffer. It doesn't allow him to move very well. I'm noticing this little bit of a gap here, but not too bad. Doesn't really bother me that much. But yeah, looks really good. Really nice detail in the hair too. I like it a lot. And looking at his hands here, first we get 2 fisted hands, which come on him in the packaging. Nice detail, again, that pearlescent finish on them. And then we get the helmet holding hands. And then we get the Zaba holding hand and the kind of martial artsy hand. Just like with the other hands, again, nice pearlescent finish on them. And then here we have Zaba. Really nice looking. I wish he was made of that same pearlescent plastic that the rest of the figure is made out of. And I do wish that they had dyed in the black on the blade. And there's a few other paint details that I wish he had that he doesn't. And a few things that just aren't completely accurate. Like up here, this gold bit here should be black with the gold on the triangles, but here they just painted solid gold. I wish they had gone with a more of a brighter silver for the top piece here, and then gone with the gunmetal in the for the stripes. But looks fine. Doesn't really bother me too much. Only really when I look at my big Zaba that I've got from the Legacy line. But that's a little bit of a huge nitpick because that's a actual replica. This is a toy. Some things just can't happen. But to switch out the blades, you just pull at the bottom and grab your blade, plug it in, and it looks really good. Again, I do wish they had dyed in the black on the blade a little bit more, but whatever. It bothered me enough, I'll do it myself. And you should have a dot of gold on these little circles here. But again, it looks good for what it is. Alright, so let's go ahead and show off how to put all this stuff on him. And the hands are your usual Figuarts fare, just a ball joint. They're a little bit more difficult to do on this guy, but not too hard. And applying Zappa to his sheath is very simple. You just take the blade, put it in the bottom, take Zappa's head, basically, and plug it in like so. And he stays in there really nice. And then, of course, applying the heads is very simple. Just a ball joint, and you just plug it on. There you go. And here is your White Ranger with your Tommy head on it. And let's take a look at all these details on him. It is a very smooth body, so there's not a lot of details to talk about, but there is very nice gold paint where it needs to be, nice and shiny. I do believe it's a little bit of a brighter gold than what was on the original release of this guy back in 2013. So that's definitely good to see a brighter gold and make him stand out a little bit better when you compare him side by side. I unfortunately don't have that figure to compare him to because that figure costs a lot of money. But from what I've seen from pictures of the two side by side, it does look like it's a little bit of a brighter gold, but definitely the same pearlescent finish on both. But yeah, that Tommy head sculpt still looking great. Still got his earring picked out in silver. Going down the body, not really a lot to talk about here. He does have kind of big feet, kind of like how Batman did, but I understand with a body this small, you got to make sure that it's stable. So definitely doesn't bother me too much. What does bother me is this gap here. I wish that was maybe also the pearlescent plastic, but it is also kind of plain and kind of looks a little bit translucent at times, but I get over it very quickly when I just look at the head. So, but yeah, let's go ahead and go over the articulation on this guy. Mainly the head is going to be the focus point right now, but it is your basic ball joint hinge and swivel. So you can get him looking down a good bit with just the hinge. Actually, that's even a little bit difficult. There you go. Just a little bit down and a little up, but that hair in the back doesn't really bend very well, so it is a little difficult to do that. But if you just want him standing there looking at a neutral position, that's definitely fine. And before we go over the rest of his articulation, I figured we would morph him so he has his helmet on so that we can show how that poses. So here we go. White Tiger Zord. And there you go. It's just that easy. Even the figures respond to the call of Zordon. Yeah, going over the rest of his articulation with the helmet on. The helmet is also on a ball joint, of course. So you do get some more pivot up there. You can use that hinge a bit better now, so he looks up a bit more. And then looks down a bit more now. The neck is also on a ball joint, which now it's a little out of whack. And that happens quite often with this head. Because, of course, it allows for more articulation, so you get a little weird with the neck sometimes. That Adam's apple just doesn't line up right. Come on, turn. Thank you. The shoulder pads are on a hinge, so they do get up out of the way. It's kind of a side effect of this guy being from a different series, being at a different series in Japan anyway. It's the Die Ranger body, so he's going to have a little bit of different articulation on him. Still got the same cuffs as his Mighty Morphin brothers that do allow for full range. They do get a little weird sometimes, but it is a ball joint connection in there with the hinge, so it will move up that far. I don't really care for the gaps that the shoulder pads make, but I'll live with it. There's a bicep swivel up there. I wish it was hidden with this band. I have it either below or above the band. That way it worked a bit better. And of course you can get full rotation out of that. And this is a little scary though. Double jointed elbows. Well, Zaba's gonna get in the way, so we're gonna do it over here. But yeah, double jointed elbows. The top joint on mine is a little stiff, so I gotta bend that one first. And he has full range there on his elbow. Focus. And of course it is your usual Figuarts wrist. So it's got the ball joint at the fist and the peg and the wrist. So you can swivel that and have him either have a vertical or a horizontal motion to his wrist. His abdomen is on a ball joint. So you get a little bit of rotation there, and he will pivot. Come on. He will pivot back that far. Forward. Get out of the way, Zaba. That far. And of course you have your waist on a ball joint as well, which will give him more, just a little bit more downward tilt, and of course more backwards tilt if his arm and Zaba will get out of the way. Mine came in the package with him kind of like that, which was weird. It also caused his belt to look like it was sinking into his body, and I was like, oh my god, my figure's already broken when I got it. But yeah, you just gotta line those back up so he's straight, if that happens to you. His hips are the older Figuarts hips, so they do pull down to accommodate for more movement. So without them being pulled down, they will kick forward. Get out of here, Zaba. We're just moving you. He will kick forward that far and back just a little bit. With them pulled down all the way, though, he will kick forward much higher and backwards just a little bit more. He does have a bicep swivel. Wow, bicep swivel? That's a thigh. He does have a thigh swivel right there. Double jointed knee. He can almost kick himself in the butt. And of course, your ankles are on a hinge. So you do get not a lot of upward. You do get some downward. And you do have some ankle pivot and a toe joint. And that's how far you're going to toe. So there you go. And now for comparison. Here he is with another S.H.Figuarts figure that is based on a live action property. Here he is with the Dark Knight Batman. And you see Tommy is a bit shorter than the Batman. Here he is with the S.H.Figuarts Awakening Goku. Again, quite a bit shorter than Goku. And just because, here he is with the Mafex Deadpool and the Marvel Legends Deadpool, just so you can get a sense of how he scales with two figures of the same size, one being a bit more readily available than the other and a bit more attached to my hand. But yeah, they look okay together. When I got the Legacy collection, or the Legacy line, whatever it was, that version of the Green Ranger, I took a lot of pictures of him with Deadpool. So that's why I wanted to do this comparison. I was hoping he'd be a bit bigger, so it would work with my Mafex Deadpool, so I could take a lot more pictures of these two together. But unfortunately, that's not the case. I'm going to have to wait to get that Lightning Collection White Ranger and Green Ranger, so that we can do that. But yeah, there you go. So at the end of the day, I do really enjoy this figure, not without its issues that I personally have with it, but I do still really love it. And I'm very glad that I have it in my collection. He is currently on sale at BigBadToyStore. I believe he's $32 right now. When I bought him, he was only $30. He was a part of a weekend sale that we're doing. But right now he is $32. So I will put a link in the description below to where you can purchase him, as well as a link for the original 2013 release of this guy, so that if you want that version without the Tommy head, you can also get that version. But that is not on sale that I know of. I do believe it is still $82, so keep that in mind. But, of course, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. All that will be linked in the description below. Turn the bell on for notifications. And, of course, as always, this is the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers S.H.Figuarts White Ranger with Tommy head sculpt, and I am AUTOCON360, and I'm saying, laters.